What is up, everyone? Welcome to Reality Room Podcast with Paul,
Chris,
and James.
Covering Big Brother Canada Season 5. That's right, guys. The first two episodes are upon us this week, both yesterday and today. Crazy stuff happened. We had a whole week jammed into episode 2, and we got to see our first little taste of the house guest yesterday, getting into the house. Exciting stuff. So, first thoughts right now, just first thing popped in your head, Chris.
First thing that pops into my head is, oh shit, like newbies and vets are. I actually was a little surprised, like with the newbies' reactions. I thought they would have been just like kind of a little bit more of Big Brother 18, where they were like all in a room, like we gotta get all these vets out, like fuck them. But like that didn't even really happen. They were just like, oh okay, like Kevin's back and he's a great player, and we're gonna keep him around.
They were probably terrified because terrified because it's hard to like. You're like, oh, fuck the vets, because the vets are literally half the house. So you kind of just have to be like, oh my god, I'm so happy you're here. This is awesome.
They literally had newbies say, we're screwed. Like when some of the players walked in. You even had some of the vets saying, oh, I'm so boned when a player came in. It was insane. All right, so Arissa, she brings in the first 4 newbies and she sends them in. They're looking at the house. It's the same old, same old. We're gonna get through this quick because we know episode 2 already happened and episode 1 there wasn't a lot going on. So then the next 4 go in and whatever. So then they start bringing out the vets, and of course the first vet is Netta, right, Chris?
Ika.
Oh, was Ika really?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I think
right. Netta was last, wasn't she? Oh wow.
Yeah.
Jesus. You see, I'm getting confused already. So Ika was the first one. She pops up in the house, and everyone's like, holy shit. That's when they know something's popping up. Like, what are you guys thinking what do you guys think they're thinking? I mean, we already said they're probably like, oh, fuck. But when Ika walks in, she didn't do too well on her season. But when she pops in, what do you guys think that they're thinking about the amount of vets that might be coming in? Because it was 4, and then 1.
Yeah, so when Ika came in, they probably were expecting people that didn't really do good on like the other seasons, because she did get out like pretty early. But I guess once they saw like all the new like Bruno and Kevin and Netta, who made 3rd place, and fucking Gary, who should have won by a vote, but I feel like they were kind of starting to freak out. But then it also was interesting because the vets didn't know what other vets were coming in, so that was also shit to them too.
You know that once one vet came in the house, they were like, okay, here we go. Because like this isn't Big Brother over the top, and like there's only so many new people in there, so they're like, okay, just start bringing out all the players. We're screwed. We know. Just keep on bringing them out. Just keep it coming. And like, I think as soon as they saw the first one, it was probably not like, oh, we're really scared of her. It was like, we're really scared of whoever else is behind that door. So
Yeah, that's a really good point. And you know what? The way Big Brother has been going, and just for like the whole past year after BB Can 4, we've had vets in every single season so far.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
BB 18, BB over the top, like you just said, with Jason being the 1, and this time BB Can 5 with 8. So 4, 1, 8. Mm-hmm. Maybe we'll have a whole all-star season for BB 19. Who knows? Keep the trend
maybe.
going. But yeah, so the vets start walking in, and obviously they're like, whatever. I guess we'll get to Cindy, right? No, I guess we'll get to Cindy walking into the house.
Right.
So Cindy walks into the house, and James, you played Sequester 5.0 with Cindy, right?
Yes, I did.
So you kind of have like this little insight on like some maybe what her strategy might be, and maybe how she would apply what she did on Sequester to Big Brother. So what do you think is possible for her this time around?
Well, it's funny because my first night on Sequester, I was in a room with Allison and Cindy, and Cindy was like, okay, well, why don't we make an alliance? It's the first room I'm in, but let's just do it. So she was my only alliance pretty much the whole time. And the thing about Cindy is that when I was like, oh, you're like the Big Brother Canada person, she was quick to get the target off of herself and be like, yeah, like everyone says I was a comp beast, but I found out later that everyone was just throwing the competitions and I was just an idiot and didn't know what I was doing and just decided not to throw them. So my thing with her is I think she acknowledges that last time and granted at the time she was trying to take a target off of herself when she was talking to me, but I think she acknowledges that maybe winning all the comps early on was not the best move. So I think she has the comp ability, but she's going to be able to turn it on later in the game. So I'm hoping that she really sticks to that, although the first competition win was kind of not along with that strategy, but we'll see.
Right, because right after that they have the HOH, and they basically set up in pairs. I don't know if we have the pairs all set up. Do you remember what the pairs were other than the obvious winners, Chris?
I don't have that.
All right, that's fine.
I know what order they got out though. If that helps.
Yeah, that helps. Yeah, go.
Wait, so you don't have the pairs, but you have the order in which the pairs got out?
Yeah,
it doesn't make any fucking sense. I just don't get it. He probably has the order of.
I forgot. Yeah, I forgot what.
All right. Just
which ones they were with because I write down.
Right,
But
tell us the order then. Oh, wow.
So it was Bruno, Cassandra, Kevin, and then because like when they did the episodes, it was like pretty quick. So like
Bruno
was
with Dylan, right?
Yeah, Bruno was with Dylan.
Right.
I forgot who Dallas was with. I think Dallas
was Dallas with Demetrius or Mark? I think Dallas was with another guy. I think it. I don't know. I don't have that down.
Probably just an irrelevant newbie that's going to get eliminated in like episode 3, so it's fine.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, we have the winner of the competition, and again, this episode 1 was quick. Who cares about episode 1? Episode 2 aired about an hour ago. So we have the winner, and it's Cindy and it's Karen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cindy and Karen. Karen's a fucking she has a mouth on her. I'm pretty excited. And Cindy decides to give the HOH to Karen. So thoughts about that? So they both win. So both are safe, and they can either decide to give the HOH to someone else or choose between the two of them. And they decide to give it to Karen. Do you think that was a good move on Cindy's part?
I didn't think that was. It was because like spoiler, a newbie goes home, but that shouldn't have happened. Period. I don't to Karen because Karen was probably going to put two vets up, which I thought what she was going to do.
Because you're kind of freezing up a little bit, James. Is that happening on your end too?
Yeah. I think I got the gist of what he was saying though, and I think that it was actually a really good move on Cindy's part, but not necessarily on her partner's part. But I don't care about her partner, so that's fine. But basically,
yeah.
I think BB Can 3 Cindy would have taken that HOH, and I do think that it was definitely a good move for them to say, okay, one of us two is going to win this competition, or like is going to take this HOH, because like you shouldn't just hand it to a rando. So I think that was a good move, and I think that it's showing the evolution of her game, where she's recognizing she doesn't want to, put a target on her back immediately, start knocking off the newbies, and she probably recognized that, the newbie would be too scared to take out vets. So I think it was a great move on her part.
Yeah, I agree 100% with that. And during the competition, you can tell that Karen was one that was like, because she was the one holding on to Cindy, so you can tell that she was the one that had the most physical
task.
Yeah, the most physical task, the most physical weight on her. And so I think Cindy understood that probably best for her game, and probably also makes her look the best to the house guest. So, because if she fought for it, that would not have looked too good. It would have been like, oh, well, Cindy's fighting for power. Interesting. Yeah.
Like if someone makes a target on her because of that, she'll just be like, look, I was just hanging there like a turd for like an hour and a half. Like, this does not make me a comp piece. Like, she was the one holding on. Like, don't worry about it. So, like, I think that was a great move for her to get power, but not put any blood on her hands and not make herself a target. So I'm proud of her for that move. It was really smart.
Yeah, and it looks like it's working out for her so far. So let's jump into episode number 2. Chris, you doing okay with your?
I'm fine now. Can you guys see me and hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
All right, so let's jump into episode 2. So Karen wins the HOH, and you don't really get a lot of time, because they basically pack a whole week into this episode. And it's not like the whole week, like, oh, double eviction, everything's going on within 10 minutes. No, it's literally a whole fucking week. All in one day, all in an hour. I was like, all right. Like, why? I want to see what's going on, but no. But
I never understood that, why the first week occupies the same amount of airtime as like the last week. Because in the last week in like BB18, when Asian James and Nicole and Paul are just eating Cheetos all week and not talking any strategy, it's like there's so much more stuff that goes on in the first week. So like I never understood why they do that,
And I think it's just the way they want to do it is like they want to have it like they have to like really get that episode going, and they've been in the house for 2 weeks, so they need enough time to edit everything. They need enough time to do all this other extra stuff, like the photo thing that they do, and you know what I mean. So it's a lot of just production stuff that's going on. Like they don't really have a lot of
But this
time
episode,
to edit.
this episode specifically, though, had a lot going on with it, and so we're gonna try to like kind of pinpoint some of the things that maybe they didn't show in the episode. So let's start off first with Karen picking her nominations. So first we have like the vets kind of meeting up for like their group talk. A few of the vets, Cindy kind of taking the charge on this conversation because she was Karen's partner in the competition. So it kind of makes sense. She probably has the closest relationship with Karen right now. So Cindy's basically like, listen, we all obviously want a vet to stay. So I'm going to try talking to Karen and see that we can have 2 newbies on the block. Makes sense. Karen, on the other hand, is thinking, I want a threat out of this game. Physical threat, mental threat, doesn't matter to me. I want a threat out. So she's thinking like one of the big guys, like Mark or
Demetrius, Dylan, Kevin, all those big guys she wants.
Exactly, and like the mental threats like Netta and Cassandra. So that's her thought process. So then Cindy goes and talks to Karen, and they're basically like, no, Netta and the girls can probably work with us. So I think we should keep them around for a little bit because I know they're on your side. And I mean, I wasn't sure if it was going to work because Karen seems pretty strong-headed, but it seemed like it did because 2 buff guys went on the block. Well, how much of an influence do you think Cindy had on that?
I just think I don't know if Cindy had too much influence over that. I think once she won HOH, she really did want to take out comp threats, and I don't think she really cared if they were returning or new players. Like I think she just really won that competition. She was very competitive about it, and she wanted to get someone else that was competitive out of the game too. I don't think it had anything to do with like being a vet or being a newbie. But I will say I didn't think it was...
Oh, what were you saying? Sorry.
Yeah, I was just gonna say like moving forward, like when her nominations happen, I think she had a good idea of getting rid of big threats out. She just didn't get the right big threats out.
Go ahead, James.
I think it's interesting because usually whenever they bring back returning players, it's like they're in the minority. So the returning players try to play this whole like, oh, like, you know, don't target returning players. Like we're all in the same boat here, but they don't have to do that because it's an even playing field. So in this case, it seems like the name of the game is just going to be to get strong players out regardless whether they're returning. So it's a whole like shift in the dynamic of how this game would normally go. So I think that's why you're seeing just like physically strong people getting put up right now.
Right, it's very reminiscent of BB15 going after the big targets first, and I don't know if that's going to continue throughout the game, but it's very possible. So let's jump into the nominees. So they bring back like that what's that called? Like the board or whatever. Do you remember what it's called, Chris?
Yeah.
What's it called?
It was like a nomination wheel or something like that. I don't remember too much of it, but they changed it this year. It's all about space. So like,
yeah, it's all about.
I like
space.
how they do change like the speeches and stuff like that. It's pretty cool how they did that in Big Brother Canada. But she has like
time.
She has her 4 people that she's willing to put on the block. She's got Kevin. She wants Mark because he can get into a showmance. She wants to put up Dylan because he does boxing and he's a beast. She wants to put up Demetrius because he's built and he's buff. So she wants to get all these big male players out, obviously.
So first off, Karen's thought process, I love it. Okay, I love her thought process. She wants to go after the strong physical threats, strong mental threats. Makes a lot of sense. And she pointed out exactly what you and I pointed out last time, Chris, in our cast analysis, that Mark's probably the most likely guy in the house to get into a showmance.
Yeah.
Like, oh, Mark's a good-looking guy, probably going to get into a showmance. The good-looking guys always get into a showmance. And then they always run the fucking season, and then they end up losing somewhere, getting like 6th, 7th place or something.
Yeah.
it's like...
Right.
It's like a trend that never dies.
Yeah, well, it's interesting how those people always are made to be targets when they never win. If you think about it, it's kind of just the easy out every season, and it's just kind of like I get that, like, I don't know, like Hayden did it in BB12 and he won, and Drew did it in 5, and he won. And but like for the most part, it's such an easy out to be like, oh, you're a good-looking guy, so you might be in a showman to get eliminated early. So I'm just gonna get rid of you now and like save the time. And like it's just funny how like they kind of aren't a target because you know it's gonna happen to them eventually. But at the time, you're just looking for an excuse, and you're like, look, you're good-looking. You're probably gonna end up sleeping with someone here, so I'm just gonna put you on the block. And like it works. So.
It's a good strategy, and people are always looking for any reason to target someone. So I'm glad that Karen was able to basically use that reasoning because they always end up being powerhouses, the couples early on. I mean, then they dip towards the end, but
yeah,
like, but they don't want to be early boots like at any of these like smaller players. Like Karen's, usually the old players go early, basically. So she knows she has to go after the bigger people first, and that's basically why I think she did it. But she has a conversation with a lot of the newbies, and they're basically like, "Oh, well."
Even with Dimitri's too.
Yeah, I think was Mark there too.
It was Dimitri's. It was
Dylan.
Dre was there too.
Yeah, Dre
and
was
Dylan.
there.
Yeah.
And the conversation was basically. Go ahead, Chris.
The conversation was like, she's like, yeah, I know Cindy's like a really good player. I know all these vets are thinking that they can manipulate me. And then I forgot who it was. I think it was Dylan that said something about like her wanting to backdoor another newbie. And I was kind of like confused by that. I was like, wait, why would she want to backdoor another newbie?
Well,
I mean, I get it. I get it. Karen's a little cuckoo, but like she has to realize that the vets are essentially using her right now. Because think about it, they're not. No one's on the block. None of the vets are on the block, and she pissed off a couple of newbies. Not too many of them. Not as much as like Big With 18 when Corey decided to give the fucking HOH to Nicole. But what I'm saying is, she put herself in a good spot. I will say that. I just don't think putting 2 new players up is a good idea. She should have did 1 newbie and 1 vet.
I mean, we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, she seems open-minded at this point to going after anyone. Like still, which is I don't know if that's a good strategy, being so open-minded. Like you should probably have a set target.
I think that it can benefit you to not have a target, but the trick with that is to not put a target on your back with the people that you nominate. So like you could pull the whole Sandra from Survivor thing and be like, I don't fucking care who goes on the block. Like I literally don't care at all. But the thing is, if you end up putting 2 people on the block, you got to make sure that they're not pissed at you. And if you're going to backdoor someone, then you guarantee that there's like 3 people who are pissed at you. So you gotta play it right and like have people volunteer to be pawns or something along those lines if you're gonna do that. So I mean, you can have that strategy, but it's not gonna get you a lot of jury votes, and it's also not gonna get you a lot of allies. So you gotta play it right.
Fair enough. Well said. So let's jump into the veto competition. Let's talk into the veto players first. So the people who were picked for the veto, I know Bruno was picked. I know Aiko was picked. Was the other one Kevin?
Kevin, yes.
Okay, so it was Kevin.
It was Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin, Aika, and Bruno. See, yeah, I can remember some things. Who were picked for the veto competition.
Yeah.
So basically the competition was they were in like this muddy water or whatever. They had a boulder tied onto their leg. They had to go under like this log type thing and collect these emoji pieces and bring all the emoji pieces back. And then after they get all the emoji pieces back, and you can only do one at a time, I believe, they each have a letter, and you use the letter to spell out a puzzle, and whoever spells out the puzzle first, whoever spells out the saying first, rather, wins the veto. And if you get 2 boulder emojis, you can take the boulder off, so you can go a lot quicker. So it was an interesting challenge. So
it kind of reminded me of like a little bit of OTEV. Like when I first saw it, I was kind of thinking like, okay, running in the mud, picking up pieces, bringing it back, trying to figure stuff out. Like
usually OTEV is a lot grosser though.
Yeah,
that's true. I'm like sick of like all these like emoji competitions. Like
yeah,
like just stop it. Like we all get it. We all use emojis now, but you don't have to put them in a fucking competition. BB18 did that. BB Camp 5, whatever. Nonetheless, so let's talk about Ike in this competition. She didn't want to get her hair wet, so she was just kind of like ducking under the thing, holding her hair. She's like, "Yeah, I don't have to win this. I'm safe anyway." And I'm like, "Yeah, you probably are." Yeah. Mark and Dimitri, they were doing their best. They were going pretty quick. I think
Mark almost finished too.
They did.
He was
Yeah,
so
he
close
did.
to winning that.
I think they both got the boulder off of them, but Bruno had a clear-cut strategy. Slow and steady wins the race. And they didn't show Kevin too much in this one. I just realized after they showed it, they're like, they
you couldn't even remember
Kevin
that
at
Kevin
all.
even played. You remember that Kevin even played in the veto. That's how much he wasn't there.
And Dylan hosted it. But yeah, Bruno had a slow and steady approach, which worked out because he ended up winning. And of course, during the competition, you have Mark in this mud, and all the girls are like, "Oh, Mark," and I'm like, "All right." Oh, Mark's so hot. I'm just sitting there is this the time and place? He's trying to win a competition here.
He's trying to save his life in this game. God.
His ass could be out the door. You can flirt with him after the comp, but Bruno ends up winning, much to the dismay of the two on the block. And they barely showed anything after that. They're just like, yeah,
that was it. Bruno won veto, not using it. That's it.
Bruno wins veto. It's like, I don't know if I'm gonna use it or not. I can make a big game move, like what the diary room fucking makes them say.
That's what they have to do, though. That's what they have to say in the diary room. They have to pretend like they're doing something else, but they're really not. Come on. We knew that.
They didn't even pretend in that episode. They're like, yeah, he was never planning on using it, but we're just gonna make him say this bullshit anyway. Chris, you're.
They didn't even get a chance to play. He didn't get. Can you hear me?
Not really.
Hello.
We can hear you, but you're really choppy.
Well, it's not my fault.
Well, I mean, it's your webcam's
But yeah,
fault,
I feel like it's always funny because they try to make it all dramatic and they're like, "Oh my god, what's gonna happen?" But my favorite are the episodes where they have literally no footage all week of the person even contemplating doing the other option. So they just have to throw them in the diary room and they're like, "Say that you're thinking about it," and they're like, "I'm thinking about it," and they're like, "Done, right there, episode."
It's like, oh, beautiful, suspense made. These ratings are great.
And then they just put the music in the background, and then it's like, okay, everyone, it's time for the veto competition. That's Germany.
Yeah.
No, we know what's happening.
Bruno walks out, doesn't use it. I was surprised. I was so shocked. Okay, but he doesn't use it, and now we can get to the actual, the rest of the episode, which actually had some meat in it. I was a little surprised they were able to fit some meat in it, but not enough meat, but just enough to leave me wondering what's going on. So basically, you have two sides of the house right now. One wants Mark to stay. One side wants Mark to stay. The other side wants Demetrius to stay. Kevin and Bruno want to keep Mark. They like Mark. They're like, yeah, he's a good guy. Seems like someone easy to chill with.
They talk about sports. They don't want him to go.
Yeah, they talk a little bit about hockey.
Yeah.
And the two vets that want Demetrius to stay are Cassandra and Gary. And Cassandra actually has a one-on-one talk with Demetrius and she actually, I think, set the foundation on what's probably going on right now. Although it's been a few days, so I'm sure everything's flipped already. Feeds are on, by the way, guys, so I don't know why you're watching us. But Cassandra talked to Demetrius, and she was like, listen, I want you to stay. The best way to do it is to make it seem like you're going after one other player, and she suggests to do it to Dylan. So try to get on Dylan's bad side and to make it clear to the house that you guys are not getting along and are going after each other. And I have to fucking say, holy shit, it actually works.
Well, it was kind of close. I wouldn't say it was a landslide, but it did work, yeah, I would say.
And they're playing pool. Dylan
I mean, if you get the votes, it works. Like, ends justify the means. And if you're still in the house, then it worked. Like,
yeah, exactly. And Dylan and Demetrius are playing pool together, and like everyone else, just like kind of like sitting around like on their couches or just chilling. And Demetrius is just like, when he first walked in here, like dead ass out loud, he's like, "I knew I wouldn't get along with you," and I'm like, "Boy," I'm like, "Oh my god." And Dylan's just like, "Oh, all right." He's like, "Yeah, I just don't see us ever working together on like a game level." And Dylan's like, "Oh, okay."
While they're playing pool, like they're still playing pool, they're not even like getting into each other's like faces.
They're still playing. What did you guys think about that? It's just crazy.
Just doing a competitive sport together, just casually being like, "Fuck you," but it's like
And oh, by the way, you're my target.
Yeah,
call that socket.
Yeah, corner pocket, and you're my target. Okay.
So amazing. And so let's talk about what happens a little bit after that. So
let's talk about Cindy, because remember she gets confronted. Well, later she gets confronted, but she's pretty much just tells Gary and Cassandra that everyone's going to be voting for Demetrius to leave, and then Cassandra and Gary were a little like, "Wait, hold on, that's not right." So then Gary goes to Ika, and it's like, "So Cindy, apparently everyone's voting Demetrius out." And she's like, "No one's telling me who I'm voting out."
I never fucking said that. Oh, fuck. I can't do a voice. I'm usually so good with voices. Okay. Give me a few weeks, guys. She's like, "I never fucking said that. Never. Don't put words in my mouth." I'm not doing the voice, by the way. Don't put words in my mouth. I never said who was going. I never said who I was voting for. Why are you lying? Stop talking too much, Cindy. And I'm just sitting there like, oh, my God. She's letting her have it. Like Gary and Cassandra are just like sitting in bed, like literally sipping tea. Like literally sipping tea. I'm just like, this is amazing. So
yeah,
Cindy got chewed out, but the way the votes
I thought it was funny though. I thought it was also funny that like when Ika left the room and then, like Cindy, like just didn't even like her facial reaction was just like, she's like, "Oh, whatever." Like she knew Ika was gonna like flip out on her. Yeah. Okay. So you want to talk about the votes?
Well, we'll talk one more thing before the votes, and then Karen has a conversation with Gary and Cassandra, and Gary are kind of like, "Yeah, this is what's going on right now with the votes. Everything's kind of split up." And Karen's like, "This is why you all fucking lost, because you can't make up your goddamn mind. This was supposed to be an easy week. It's supposed to be an easy fucking week, and this is." and they're both just like, "Oh my god, this bitch came to play."
Karen, I fucking love Karen. She's probably one of my favorites right now. Just calling the vets out, dude. Like, you suck.
So let's jump. We can jump into the votes. Go ahead, Chris.
Okay, because it was a 7-6 vote. So this was pretty. It wouldn't be Big Brother. So let's talk. Voted for Demetrius, Kevin, Dallas, Bruno, 3 vets, Dylan, and Emily. Obviously Dylan's gonna vote for Demetrius because hello.
Yeah.
I was a little surprised by Jackie. I guess they just didn't talk at all. I don't know.
Who did Jackie vote for again?
Demetrius.
Oh, right. Well, Jackie's close with was Jackie the one that was close with Dylan?
Yeah. Yeah. No. I think it was Emily. Might have been. Remember, it was one of them.
Might have been Emily. Okay. And then basically the ones who voted out
Mark.
voted out Mark. It was basically
Trey.
Yeah, it was
Gary,
Trey,
Ika, William,
Gary,
Cassandra,
Ika,
Netta, Cindy.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Netta surprised me. It must have been Cassandra. She must have said something to her.
I mean, they didn't show Netta having an opinion about the vote all episode.
Yeah,
it was just also, Kevin and Bruno assuming. Go ahead.
When there's this many people, it's also like everyone would say like, "Oh, why wouldn't you talk to everyone?" Like, but at the same time, if there's like 16 people living in a house, it's hard to get in conversations with everyone. So some people's vote could boil down to literally like I had one conversation with you, and I had two with him, so I'm voting to evict
Well,
you.
okay, I don't. I want to talk about that. But they've been in the house for 2 weeks. That's 14 days. They've been in. And they have nothing else better to do. So maybe
Yeah,
like,
No,
you know what I mean? Like,
it's not 2 weeks. I think it's day 5.
oh really? I thought no, they have to be in the house for 2 weeks at least. Oh, maybe it's different. Is it different in Canada?
well, the premiere episode was.
Well, kind of,
Because they need to also edit the episodes too. So I figured it was like a little bit longer than.
and it's long. They're in 70 days. So they don't waste 2 weeks. We have like 100 days. They only have 70, so they have to fit everything
Okay.
to
Well,
get it together.
I guess that makes sense. Well, then I guess that makes sense then. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a certain amount of like herd mentality that humans naturally like go along with because like that's just how we operate and that's what cliques are. So I think naturally, if you like are the person who just talks to literally everyone, then that would almost make you suspicious. So it gets to the point where like after a few days, it might be normal that you haven't like fully talked to a few people. So I mean, I just think that maybe a few votes could have just come down to that completely.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess that's basically it. Mark leaves. So
Yeah. He doesn't even get like
I
a
guess we'll
chance
get-
to sit down and talk to like Arissa.
Well,
it's just like
they have a
like,
Facebook.
he walks down the stairs. He has his bag, puts it down. Like
We have a Facebook live
it,
chat.
like Big Brother US style, where they just sit down. It's 2 chairs. you
Chris,
talk for, like,
Chris, you are so choppy right now.
Either
But
I
I'm
like
just-
the funny thing is like Chris, your video and your audio, it's like either you meet us halfway and it's like 50-50, like 50% normal audio, 50% normal video, or like it's 100% one or 100% the other. So like when your videos cut off,
Wait,
we can
hold
hear
on.
you perfectly well.
On my part. How about now? I just changed my bandwidth. Hold on.
Okay, you sound better now, but
Okay,
it's
whatever.
funny because like literally anytime your video starts working, we just can't hear you at all. It's the other way around.
Shit.
Yeah, that's fun.
all right. So you were talking about Mark not talking to Arissa, and they actually do, but on Facebook Live. So if we went on if any of us bothered to go on Facebook and wanted to watch it, we could. But I figured it was too early. You know,
Facebook is for cat videos.
why bother with that? Yeah. So let's jump into some live feed spoiler stuff because some things were revealed already, and I might do a live feed video either today.
This is good because a lot of people don't know. Well,
Yeah, before y'all do, I have
Or
to
tomorrow.
I have to study for my accounting test that I'm completely screwed for. So I might have to head out now. But thank y'all for having me on and stuff. It was fun.
Yeah, man.
yeah, definitely.
And let's do it again soon.
Yeah, for real. I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace out.
All right. See ya, James.
Deuces.
Bye. See ya. Okay.
So yeah, some live feed spoiler stuff. So we have the HOH, and the HOH right now is actually Demetrius.
Oh wow. Damn.
Yeah, he did it. Yeah, from zero to hero, as they say in the Big Brother house.
Did they say who nominations were?
Nope, because he just won it. I think he just won it. So that's pretty interesting. Apparently, in regard, and I'm just looking at something like the right now. But I will do a video on it pretty soon. But
Let's talk about
Just
who got
looking at
the
everything.
fast forward to the.
right, Netta got the fast forward. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Yeah, so Netta gets the fast forward. I tried so hard to give it to Cindy, like, damn it. But it was probably really close. But I mean, I guess I'm kind of glad that Netta has it. But at the same time, I feel like
I'm
the
not.
long term game is going to be hard for her because she might get targeted because she got this fast forward and she's gotten all this information. I think it only helps her for like 4 more weeks. Doesn't jury start at 11?
Maybe I think so. I mean,
Yeah.
Big Brother Canada always does something a little different. What I want to do though is I want to talk a little bit about this fucking twist. Okay, I have some words
Oh,
about
God.
this twist, and you know when my hand goes up like this, that I have some bad fucking words.
Oh,
This
man.
twist is stupid. I hate this twist. It's fucking dumb. You're having the person fucking stay in the house, can play in HOHs, play in vetoes. Oh, but you can't target them. That's bullshit. That's not fucking that's cheating. Okay, that
Well,
is
I
cheating.
mean, when you think about Big Brother 13, that's kind of what the same thing that happened. Remember, like they had the pair and the pair that didn't get. Remember, like when the pairs were on the
No,
block?
that was different because it wasn't like something had to happen for that to happen. Like, you know, like they had to have something bad happen to them for that to happen. And this one, I also didn't like that twist too much either, by the way. But
Yeah.
in this one, it's literally just, you know, Canada fucking voting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why? That's like, oh, you want one of your faves to stay? And obviously it was going to be a fucking vet.
Yeah.
It was going to be Netta. Like, no one watching that was like, oh, wow, Netta, what a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see Netta play and get there on her own, not because we fucking voted her there. And I know she can get there on her own because we've seen her do it before.
Yeah.
No freebies. So Big Brother
And
Canada.
I mean, it's only gonna last her 4 more weeks. That's it. That's all it's gonna last
That's
her.
still plenty. That's a lot of time, though.
It's a lot of time, yeah, but
Right,
I mean,
so you got any? You want to cap it there?
yeah. But I also want to talk
predictions.
about like predictions too, because you just said that Dimitri's one. I think Dimitri's is gonna put up 2 guys. I think it's gonna be Bruno, and I think it's gonna be Kevin. That's my opinion.
I think Dylan's going to go up.
I don't think he would. Why would he do that? Why would he
I
put
don't know,
up
for
another
show.
newbie?
I think he might put Dylan up and then backdoor someone.
Yeah, the votes have to be in there to, you know what I mean? Like maybe
That's true.
because the whole entire Dylan thing was just for him to stay.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was like a plan for him to stay.
Yeah,
So he can
but now
easily just be like, you know what?
But Dylan doesn't like him right now.
Well, he made the plan. He planned it out.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, he can always just go and be like, okay, that was all an act or whatever. It was just for me to stay. Like he can do a whole bunch of damage control with that and then put 2 other fucking people up on the block. He can't put 2 newbies up and he can't put 1 newbie up. Is what I'm saying. That would just be retarded. That would just be really retarded.
Right. Yeah, we might see Kevin
sorry,
up then.
it
Yeah,
is.
that's true.
I think it's gonna be a vet that leaves this week.
Maybe Karen. That goes on the block too, because
I could be. Then she really fucked her ass up. So then she really fucked up.
yeah. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting week. So let us know down below what you think is going to happen, or if you already know. I mean, I guess comment it because it's probably going to happen in the next few days anyway. So
Yeah.
please like, comment, and subscribe because we love hearing you guys' opinions. And
Yes.
Big Brother Canada 5. We started Big Brother Canada 4. Chris, how does it feel a year later to still be doing this?
Yeah, it's been exactly 1 year. Well, not exactly, but it's been close to a year. It's been really good. We got a lot of support from people. We like your feedback. We like your opinions about the show. And keep it up, guys. You're doing a good job. I do have a couple of comments from our last Big Brother Canada 5 video that we have. I like to read them out because that's what we do. We have Leslie McCarthy says, this is pretty long. Dre seems to be a new character type. Marcus, your typical jock character. You should have a good social game as well. William seems like the stereotypical.
Apparently not.
Yeah, apparently not. Emily seems really cool. She reminds me of a bit of a Willow and Allison. That makes sense. I feel like she'll do well. I can see Mark and Emily hooking up. Not sure what to think of Dimitri's, but I do like him. Karen is the mom type character. I don't think she'll make jury. Might be true there. Dylan is obviously a jock, but I don't know how much of a social game he'll have. Jackie seems like she'll do well and be fun. As for returning players, I'm cheering for Dallas, Bruno, Cassandra, and Netta. Netta, I think, is the biggest threat. And yes, I agree. And she also won this fucking fast forward thing, which I thought was kind of bullshit.
Yeah, so if they're smart, they'll target Netta right when the jury begins.
That's what I think too. We also have one other comment from levels above. They pretty much it was like a whole entire list of. I'm just gonna go quickly about this. Thinks that Jackie can win this game. Up,
Chris,
Kevin third.
Chris, your camera again.
Oh, okay, well I'm fine on my end. Winner Jackie, runner up Bruno, Kevin third, Mark 4th, and Netta 5th. Which, I mean, Netta being 5th makes sense.
Maybe.
This person also said,
I like Karen. I mean, I like Karen.
yeah, Netta is the best player in the game. She will be a big target, but I can still see her doing well. I think Demetrius will hook up with Emily later. I think Dylan will win some comps, but won't have a good social game. And that was pretty much it. Those comments.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, yeah, it sounds good.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. Comment below. We'll read them out loud. If you have any opinions about these episodes, I mean, we like to hear them. So
yeah, so let
Keep
us
it up,
know down
guys.
below, guys. And thank you for letting us do this for a whole year. But until whenever I do my live feed video, which could be in a few hours or tomorrow. Peace.
See you guys. Okay.